Okay, so we're back.
Just kind of checking this sign out here. Gonna try to pull the back side off. Apparently, to get the back side off, I mean, there's instructions on back that say, here in Wisconsin we read upside down. To relamp, remove plug from electrical outlet. And that kind of goes without saying, I hope. Loosen 4 screws on top and bottom, and remove complete housing. So, I've got the 4 screws. There's on each side. There's one. They're on the side. One here, and then one opposing over here. Go down to the other side. There's one here, and then one here. And it looks as if this whole unit just lifts out of here. So I'm going to kind of set you down for a second, and maybe pause this baby. And I'm going to try to pull this cage apart and see if we can't take a look at the innards here.
Okay, we're back.
So here we are. This right here is the actual physical assembly. I mean, it's the meat. Maybe if I turn the light. Yeah, boy, that sure washes that out, doesn't it? This is the actual meat of the machine here. This is the scroll that kind of moves along. And to be really honest with you, that thing seems to work pretty well. So part of me is probably going to leave that alone. It does make a little bit of noise. I could probably turn it on and you could hear the noise. It's kind of a grinding sound. Not a grinding, maybe a little too severe, but it's pretty clearly a noise. Now, here's the interiors of this, and if you're going to replace these things, it looks like they're screwed in by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, there's a series of screws around here to kind of hold this thing in. And it looks as if these are backed by something on back that's got some kind of thing, but I just got a feeling that those films sit right inside there, and then this kind of this backing plate kind of sits down back on top of it. So I really don't foresee that this is going to be a huge job. So maybe we'll tear into that and kind of see what it says. If I can set you down there, I don't think I can. So I'm going to pause this again and give it a shot, see what it looks like. But it looks like this is going to be fairly easy to do. I wasn't quite sure how this whole scroll setup was going to look, but it looks like the lights are behind here, and all the lights work, so I'm not going to touch that. And the scroll looks pretty darn good. I was kind of worried it's going to be all burned up and messed up. I don't see anything really awful in here. Maybe I should order a spare motor just for the hell of it, but boy, I just don't get the feeling that it really needs one. So, but this looks like it's going to be easy to get to and easy to do. So I'm going to pull those screws off and just kind of see what it looks like. Give me a second or so here. Well, we're back. It appears as if there are 3 plates. There's a plate that sits over. Would be, I believe, the left side, the waterfall side. And then there's the center part, the hams part, and then there's the other shoreline lakeside kind of view over here. These are kind of they all kind of hold each other down. So if you're going to pick them up, you really need to unscrew kind of the middle part first, then the other part over here. But changing these deals is really not that big of a deal once you get these plates off. And I'm just going to kind of leave them in the format that they're in with the screws that are in, because the screws are just kind of like sheet metal screws that screw into like wood or screw into plastic, and I don't know how good they are. But they just this films just sort of lift right out. And I've got those new covers. This thing in here just reeks. I mean, these signs have lived kind of hard lives, in a bar. They've been probably left on for years, and it just stinks. So, I'm just trying to lift this baby up, it is not going to let me do that. So I'm just going to kind of wait on that, and well, hell, it is not wanting to let go. There we go. Okay. Now the reason it's not wanting to let go because it's interlocked with the front of the ham's sign itself. So all these pieces are kind of grabbing a hold with each other. And I think what I'm going to do is open up my new clear base fronts and let's see kind of how they match up to this whole deal. They should just be drop in and go, but we're going to see how this looks. But this film is just cooked. I mean, you can see how it's kind of, because of the heat, it's pretty nasty looking. So I'm really looking forward to getting those new films and kind of seeing what it looks like, seeing if it's not a little bit nicer looking film, because I really don't want to have to put that crappy one back in. So I'm really looking forward to it. I've kind of big expectations for that. So, but these things, now I did see a pair of these on eBay, but I just don't think that I need to replace those, and part of me wants to just leave them as is. So I think I'm going to reinstall those. I haven't taken a look at the other film, but I got a feeling it's probably in the same condition. So I'm probably just going to pull this film out. See if I can't get this. Boy, these things they have lips on them that interlock, and the lips, one lip has to be on top of the other, has to be really not that easy to deal with. Maybe if I set the film kind of over here. I really don't want to lose what screws go where, so I'm going to try to be careful with that too. Going to set that up there. So there we go. See now, the back of the ham sign goes underneath the other front tray for the other piece of film. So I'm going to see if I can't sneak this baby. Ooh, gotta be careful. Sneak this other baby out. There we go. Look at how nasty that thing is. Yuck. What a mess. Boy, I got a feeling I'm glad I ordered those new front trays. I think it's going to look sweet. So I'm going to pull those other front trays out, see if I can get them lined up, so that tomorrow really all I've got to do is drop those films in when they get here, put the whole dang thing back together, and it ought to be good to go. But the scroll just looks pretty darn good, so I'm going to leave it alone. You know, it's got some noise it makes every now and then, but it doesn't sound like it's a motor issue. It kind of sounds like it's a scroll alignment kind of deal. And, you know, it just, from what I've seen of scrolls, if you don't have to replace them, you don't want to. It just kind of, it looks like a pain in the butt, and so I don't really want to mess with it if I don't have to. So I'm going to just kind of hold out and wait on that. Yeah, anyhow, we'll get back to you when I get those films.